Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Home Sweet Homes. My name is Sarah, and if you're new here, I'm a mom to 10-year-old twins. I have an amazing husband named Jake, and a crazy hound dog that you will most definitely see poking his head around behind me. So in today's video, I'm making dinner, but I wanted to share with you guys a cornbread muffin recipe that we first had on a cruise ship like years and years ago. And it's not just basic cornbread, it's got all kinds of fun stuff added to it to make it creamy and delicious. So come along with me and let's make these. You know, you got to use the original good stuff. So it all starts with a box of Jiffy corn mix. And then the fun just keeps going from there. All right, let's dive in and get these all whipped up to go with dinner tonight. All right, before I put my cornbread mix in, I'm going to do the egg and the 1/3 cup of milk. Now I'm using almond milk because that's just what I have on hand. One egg. Then I'm just going to break that egg up before I add anything else. It's a little easier that way. Good. Good enough is what we'll call that. Now I'm going to add the cornbread mix. Let me just struggle opening these for a minute. I did preheat my oven to 400 degrees, just like it says on the box. Probably could use a smaller bowl, but that's just what I grabbed. All right, that is mixed together. I'm going to scooch this out of the way for the bowl of the rest of the toppings that go on top of the batter in the cake pan. All right, here's where the fun begins. For the topping that goes in them to bake with them, we are going to need a can of cream of chicken soup, whole kernel corn, whatever kind of corn you really like, and then some chopped up onions. I have them in this prepped up tote, and a little bit of celery salt. This is the secret key ingredient. I don't know why, but it makes the whole thing. So let's tip on down back to the counter and whip this up together. I'm going to start with the onions in here. I only have a little bit. Normally I put more, but I only have a tiny bit left, so I'm going to go with what I got. Alright, just a few onions, not many, but. Then, cream of chicken soup. You can do cream of any kind of soup if you wanted. I would like to do cream of celery soup, but I didn't have any left. So, cream of chicken it is. It's not going to plop down, that's what I hoped. That's alright. The corn will. Oh, I gotta just drain the corn. I forgot. Drain the corn. Alright. And before I drain the corn, I guess, I am going to sprinkle just maybe like a teaspoon or maybe a little less of celery salt in here. All right, it's going in. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do about half maybe. So if somebody doesn't want the cornbread, they can just have corn on the side. We are not a cornbread eating family here. Just not big fans of it. But we learned that on the cruise ship, when it came like this with one of our meals, we absolutely loved it. So, you should fling your corn out of your bowl at least once. Good measure. Right. Now that is looking good and creamy. I'm going to go ahead and start filling these with some of the cornbread. Okay, I'm also going to spray my pan. I almost forgot that step. Makes it a little easier to get out of here. Now this is the only larger cupcake pan that I have, and it's not going to make that many. So I'm just going to fill the middle 6. And then I'll fill more if I need to, but I'm pretty sure it'll only be about 6. That's a small thing of cornbread. Now keep in mind, these do not need to be very full because you are going to put a generous amount of the topping on it. And that, honestly, in our opinion, is the best part. Yeah, it looks like it's going to make... Dog is eating a noodle I just dropped on the floor. That dog will eat anything, if you're wondering. All right, so we have 6 muffins, and when I'm done, I'm going to clean off the edges just so it looks a little better when I'm trying to pull them out. All right, now you just take a spoonful or so of your mixture and flop it on top. This is such a super simple, and if you want to use up like staple pantry items, this is a great way for us to do it. The oven is ready to put these in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get this pan cleaned up a little bit around the edges, and then we're going to toss it in the oven and let it bake for about 20 minutes or so. We'll have to keep an eye on them. Alright, and I've already shared this other recipe that I'm making like the main course for today's dinner, but I thought I'd just kind of quickly show you some footage of me throwing that together. We are going to have my mom's beef stroganoff, or poor man's stroganoff, and it's so delicious. So I'm just going to go ahead and whip that up when the cornbread muffins will go in, and then we will have a delicious dinner. And I have another side item that I'm super excited to try that I'll have to show you in just a little bit. So let's flip you down and show you what we have started. My pasta water is going, and then I have in this pan just some ground beef and some onion. And then I'm just going to season it with ranch seasoning, which I normally don't do, but I only have a little bit left. I want to get rid of this huge container. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to use my very fancy, amazing Ray Dunn spatula and spoon. This one says mix, and this one says stir. They're Mother's Day presents, and I am absolutely in love. They are such high quality. It's amazing. So let me stir my noodles here. I haven't done that in a minute or two. Okay. break down this beef. Then I'll season it once it's all kind of chopped up and easier. Ooh. Okay, that's a good start. Now I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on just the rest of this ranch powder, which is maybe like a tablespoon's worth. That's a little, maybe I'll put some extra on the top. I don't use all of it. It looks more than I thought it was going to be. Because I want this to be a quicker dinner, I have my heat cranked up pretty high. Because I want it to be done soon so I can eat it. All right, now it's time to make the creamy deliciousness that goes into the noodles and the beef. I'm just going to reuse the same bowl I used for the cornbread muffins because it has some of the same ingredients. Super simple. You're going to need some cream cheese. I usually just kind of throw in, I want it extra creamy, so I'm using cream cheese. You don't even need to use that, but sometimes I like it extra creamy. Then another can of cream of chicken soup. A couple big spoonfuls of sour cream. About a half a stick of butter. And as much garlic as you like. Slam that down on the ground or on the counter. Okay, oh, get my cream cheese. Cream cheese is so messy to look at. That's right. You're going to go ahead and finish getting messy before we mix it up. Put our stick of butter. Top from our cream of mushroom. All right, we're gonna wipe our hands real quick here. Get de-sticked. Making that up as I go. All right, should probably tip you down so you can actually see what I'm doing instead of just dumping stuff on the counter is what it looks like at the moment. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm crazy. All right, if you've been here a while, you know I'm a little crazy. Wipe my hands again because I am just a mess. All right, let's bring it forward. Tip you down. A lot of tipping you down. All right. Big tub of sour cream. Garlic. Ugh. Be like full Hulk open that. Don't tell Jake. I'm using like a full tablespoon of garlic in here. He gets a little nervous when he sees how much garlic I put in stuff because he's like, oh, that's going to be too strong. Then he always likes it, so give a little. Mix up my cream cheese a little before I just start dropping big old clumps. Because my mom never really used a recipe for this either, so I just kind of watched her and learned from experience. Usually she would use at least a whole one of those teeny tiny like sliver containers of cottage cheese or sour cream. Like, I don't know, maybe 8 ounces? I don't know. But that will not fly here, so we have to buy like the 5-pound tub of sour cream to make it last a couple weeks in our house, or almost a month. The goal is a month. Okay, that is all together. And you can't really mix it because it's got the big cream cheese and stuff, but the cold cream cheese and cold butter. Now I'm going to toss this into the microwave just enough so it's kind of a little bit more mixable, and then it'll go smoother into the noodles and meat. So let's go toss that in the microwave. All right, our perfectly cooked noodles. You can use really whatever kind of noodles you want. I did leave in just a tiny bit of the pasta water in here to help the sauce stick. So we're going to dump all of our sauce into here. then my finished ground beef and onions, and I'm going to put all the grease in here as well. I'm living on the edge. There's not much, but just enough to give it some extra good flavor. Scraping all the little onions that are sticking. Alright, we'll get this pan out of our way for now. And like I said, instead of putting like salt and pepper, I'm just going to use the rest of my ranch. There's really not that much in there. Especially because this is a pretty big pot full of pasta too. Alright, we're going to go ahead, give this a little stir. And then I'm going to put it back on the stovetop on low for just a few more minutes because the cream cheese and butter and stuff was not hot. It was just kind of warm just to get it started to incorporate. So, alright, doesn't that look so good so far? Okay, mix this is going to get for now, so let's go ahead and put it back on the stovetop for just a few minutes while the cornbread muffins are still cooking. All right, the last thing we are going to have with our stroganoff loaded cornbread muffins is, we saw these at the store, Dr. Pepper baked beans. Sweet and a bit sassy. Super excited to try these. We all like Dr. Pepper and we like baked beans. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried these and if you love them or hate them. Because we're going to find out tonight and I'm excited. So I am going to take that and split it into 3 of these little ramekins because only 3 of us will eat the baked beans and get those heated up just as the rest of the dinner is coming together. All right, there is dinner. Loaded cornbread muffins, some Dr. Pepper baked beans, and some stroganoff straight from my childhood. Now, Madison's not going to really like much of this, so I'm going to go ahead and find her some pineapple and some other little things to add to her plate.